El Paso is a thriving city situated along the Texas and Mexico border and has tons to offer current and potentially new residents. Due to its location, the city has a unique culture paired with beautiful mountain views, a sunny, warm climate, and a booming economy. So what does it take to live in El Paso and thrive? Today, we break down everything you need to know about the cost of living in this region of the Lone Star State. So let's dive in. First, in order to speak broadly about the cost of living in any city, an understanding of the standardized cost of living index is required. The cost of living index is a measurement system that helps people compare living costs in the different cities across the regions. It considers various factors such as housing, transportation, food, and entertainment, then assigns each area a score based on the region's averages. The index is compiled from data gathered by the Council for Community and Economic Research that looks at more than 90 urban areas nationwide. This data includes information about taxes, healthcare costs, transportation expenses, utility costs, housing prices, and other factors to determine an accurate score. A score of 100 represents the average cost of living across the United States. A specific city will be assigned a value higher or lower than 100. Higher number represents costs higher than the national average, while numbers lower than 100 represent savings opportunities due to reduced costs of living. Understanding the cost of living index can help you make informed decisions when it comes to things like moving to a new city or investing in real estate. It is also useful for comparing salaries between different locations, allowing employers and employees alike to better understand salary expectations for any given location. Ultimately, understanding the cost of living index can help you make more informed decisions regarding your finances and lifestyle. So, how does El Paso rank using this system? As of 2022, El Paso ranks about 90 on the cost of living index. That means it's roughly 10% lower than the national average. Good sign so far if you're considering a move here or already live here. We will say in recent years, this number has crept up from the 80s, indicating its growing popularity, inflation, rising interest rates, and national economic realities. But there are still some specific categories where El Paso exceeds expectations when compared to the national averages. Housing is one of these standout categories and is often the most significant part of the relocation budget. While the average home price in the US in 2022 was right about $451,000, El Paso's average home price was $292,000. That's an incredible 54% cheaper than the national average. A mortgage cut in half is much easier to manage, even with interest rates higher than 6%. And even though the temperatures heat up in the summer and energy bills naturally rise during this period, energy costs on average are 25% lower than the national average. While it can get chilly during the winter with only about 1 inch of snowfall each year, and typically happening on a single day I might add, heating bills won't fluctuate as much as air conditioning. When it comes to getting to and from work, the average commute time for a resident of El Paso is 24 minutes. With gas prices about 7% cheaper than the national average, the savings on commute time and cost to fill up your car, depending on where you're moving from, will also add up over time. Healthcare is another critical component that future residents will want to consider before moving. Overall healthcare is comparable to the national average. It's about 2% lower in terms of general costs. Breaking that down even further, doctor visits are actually more costly by about 15%, but dentists, optometrist appointments are between 20 and 30% lower. Isn't it odd how these things fluctuate from city to city? Now, we mentioned inflation earlier, and this upward trend in prices is affecting everything from shipping costs to general goods and services. Where a dozen of eggs may cost $10 or more in states like California and New York, they are less than $5 per dozen in El Paso. Every bit of incremental savings will pay dividends over time, helping residents to stretch their dollars. Taxes are the other elephant in the room when it comes to costs that aren't always accounted for in the cost of living calculators. One of Texas' key drivers of success is its competitive tax system. The Lone Star State has some of the lowest tax rates in the nation. Sales tax in Texas are relatively low compared to the other US states, standing at 6.25%. Additionally, there are no individual or corporate income taxes in the Lone Star State, making it an ideal place for business owners and entrepreneurs alike to set up shop. At a local level, taxation varies from county to county. Property taxes tend to be fairly high in El Paso, somewhere around that 3% mark. But when you contrast that with the fact that the sales price of homes is lower, it's not too terrible. Sales taxes in El Paso stand at 8.25%, slightly higher than the state's average rate of 6.25%. Many cities require supplemental insurance depending on the local hazards. Californians have earthquake insurance, and Floridians have flood insurance, and areas prone to destructive wildfires have fire insurance. Parts of Texas can see dangerous tornadoes each year between April and June, but El Paso is far enough south that there is very little to no risk. The county of El Paso has only had 8 tornadoes since 1950, which lessens the risk and requirement for supplemental insurance. This might be small savings, but extreme weather should always be considered when choosing an area to relocate to. One cause for potential concern in El Paso is poverty levels. Nationwide, the poverty levels average about 12.3%, while El Paso has a poverty level of more than 18%. That said, there is a ton of economic opportunity in El Paso, from governmental jobs related to military due to Fort Bliss to massive employers like GECU, Helen of Troy, ADP, and more. The job opportunities are there. So can you see yourself and your family thriving in El Paso? Let us know down in the comments below. If you're ready to start your hunt for real estate, start with View Homes. We are now selling homes in Rancho Desierto Bello where prices start below $200,000. Or if you are looking for a gated community with mountain views and lots of nearby amenities, Encore Desert Springs offers 1,700 plus square foot homes starting at $350,000. We've linked our website to those areas below. If you found today's video helpful, we would really appreciate you let us know by tapping the like button and subscribing to the channel. When subscribed, be sure to ring the bell to enable notifications so you're always the first to see our latest videos. Until next time, guys, happy house hunting. Hey guys, if you liked this video, maybe check out this one or this one.